Good morning. It's Tuesday, November the 18th. I'm Will Puckett. We're glad you're joining us for Catch Up Quick. It's our daily fastcast that airs at 10:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. We begin with shots fired during a fight in Kodak yesterday, leaving at least 2 people in the hospital and a possible third person hurt. According to the Sevier County Sheriff's Office, deputies and first responders were called to the First Lane neighborhood near Douglas Dam yesterday evening. They say shots were fired during an argument between neighbors. Officials telling us that there is no active threat to the public. We'll continue to ask questions, and as we learn more, we'll pass them along to you. Well, right now, a suspect is still on the run, accused of shooting and killing 2 people and hurting another on Interstate 640 in the westbound lanes. Knoxville police say it happened early Sunday morning near Gap Road. KPD telling us 4 men were driving through Knoxville when the suspect pulled over, shot 3 of them, and then drove away. We now know the names of 2 people killed: Troy Hutchison from Atlanta and Roger L. Jeter out of Detroit. Another man from Detroit is still in critical condition this morning. Police saying the suspect's vehicle may be a light-colored Ford Bronco with Michigan tags. If you have any information, call East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers. That number is inside your WVLT News app. We're now hearing from one of the people who jumped in to help a Maryville police officer after a crash during a motorcade for Vice President J.D. Vance. The latest from the Maryville police chief is Officer Justin Brown made it through surgery and will be in the hospital for quite a while. Our Sade Ray is sharing how people living nearby jumped in to help save his life.
Police Chief Tony Crisp says it was people watching the motorcade who jumped in to help as soon as the crash happened that made a difference in saving Brown's life. Dan Verity is just one of the people who moved toward Brown, saying all he wanted was for Brown to be okay.
And my thoughts were that I have to help this man. You know, that's it.
Dan Verity lives near East Lamar Alexander Parkway. Over Friday, a security motorcade escorted Vice President J.D. Vance through the area. Maryville police say a crash then happened near Merritt Road. They say a police motorcycle and a trooper's car collided. Verity says he watched it happen, then jumped in to help along with other people. He says he remembered one woman named Stephanie.
And she and I and my daughter ran right up to him, and we got right on him, and you know, we administered what we could.
Maryville Police Chief Tony Crisp says Officer Justin Brown was seriously hurt. He says people immediately helped however they could. Verity says it was a team effort to keep Officer Brown breathing until an ambulance arrived.
We got him stabilized, and they got him to the hospital.
Police say the trooper also involved in the crash was checked at the scene. We haven't heard how they're doing. Now, Verity is hopeful Officer Brown will pull through.
Pray for Officer Brown. I'll see you soon, brother. All right?
Verity says this is something he won't forget. He appreciates the community for keeping Brown in their prayers. In Maryville, Sade Ray, WVLT News.
Now, more than 100 East Tennesseans are set to be out of a job after a Knoxville plant is set to close. Edgewell Personal Care says its plant on Media Drive will close by the end of 2027. 132 employees will be laid off. The company is saying it's all part of a broader strategic business decision. However, they did not confirm what they'll be doing to replace the plant in their business. The company says they are working to help impacted employees. Now, we did reach out to Mayor Glenn Jacobs. He says in part our local economy is strong and that he hopes these layoffs are short-lived. Now, the Blount County Fire Protection District could see some major changes. This all started back in October on the 24th when a letter from the employees was sent to the Blount County Commission and Mayor's office detailing issues in the Fire Protection District. It talked about employees having fear of retaliation if they were to come forward with issues, unsafe practice, and incorrect safety gear, overcharging of citizens. And a lot of the letter focused on issues within the fire chief at the time, Doug McClanahan, saying he created a hostile work environment, would not request help from other agencies due to, quote, embarrassment, and saying he directly supervised his wife. Now, shortly after the mayor and commission received the letter, Chief McClanahan resigned along with 2 commissioners of the fire district. The mayor then issuing a statement announcing the appointment of 2 new commissioners to the district and saying in part, while the mayor nor the county commission has authority over this department, I am confident that this board will bring resolution to the issues that have been brought forth as quickly as possible. Since then, employees issued another letter saying thank you to the department for listening, but still outlining that not all concerns were addressed. They did ask to be heard at the fire district meeting that is happening right now. We have a reporter there. We'll continue to bring you updates inside the WVLT News app. Well, the cold and dry weather has caused several fires to start burning across East Tennessee. East Tennessee is under a high fire danger right now. Crews have been working around the clock to contain multiple fires over the past 12 hours. Taking a look at the Department of Agriculture's wildfire map, the one fire in Anderson County is active right now near I-75. It is 100% contained. The other is on New River Highway. That one is 100 acres and is 55% contained. In Cott County this morning, a fire on Green Forest Road is at 90% containment. You can stay updated on the latest wildfire conditions inside your WVLT News app. Now, this is all happening as wildfire season is underway in East Tennessee. Sevier County Fire Chief David Puckett saying the winds and frosty mornings have added to drying out the dry brush that's on the ground. All it takes is one simple spark to cause a pretty big fire.
This type of weather that we're having with the lower humidity just
out of every 100,000 births, there are an average of 42 moms who die. That's about 80% higher than the U.S. rate. This is the number of moms who died from a complication of pregnancy or childbirth during the pregnancy or within 6 months after it ends. Tennessee ranks the worst in the nation. The target is to get the rate down to 15.7 by 2030. Chief Medical and Health Officer for March of Dimes, Dr. Michael Warren, says that number is attainable.
What we know nationally is that almost 90% of maternal deaths are preventable. And so when we look at the targets that have been set, we absolutely think those are achievable. We've got to make sure we continue reviewing those deaths to understand why they're happening, but importantly, taking those lessons from those deaths and applying them so that no other family has to go through that experience.
Dr. Warren says some of the reasons for higher maternal mortality rates are because of Tennessee's higher rates of chronic diseases like high blood pressure and diabetes. Well, our Investigates team is continuing to look at maternal health care here in Tennessee. And tonight on WVLT News at 6 o'clock and streaming inside the WVLT News app, the emotional story of one mother's battle with opioid addiction and how some here in Knoxville are trying to help moms break the cycle. Now, during Hurricane Helene, nearly 300 homes in Cott County were destroyed by the floodwaters, and today 100 of them have been rebuilt, repaired, or are currently being rebuilt. Cott County Mayor Rob Mathis is updating people on the progress efforts going on. He says most flood damage by businesses or to businesses was not covered by FEMA assistance. Now, the county did create a fund to help them out.
We established the Mountain Strong Fund, and that fund was the only major fund where people could donate and know that that goes directly into the county, and those funds would be controlled also county internally and distributed strictly within the confines of Cott County to those impacted. So they have collected and disseminated over $1.4 million in direct aid.
Mayor Mathis says nearly $2 million in direct aid has helped neighbors, employees, and local businesses. Your official station of the Vols, and looking ahead to this Saturday, a huge game for the Vols against a bitter rival. Tennessee facing off against Florida in Gainesville. The Gators are just 3-7 on the 2025 campaign, and they already fired their head coach Billy Napier, but it's going to be a tough game. Get this, Tennessee hasn't won in the Swamp since 2003. Kickoff Saturday night at 7:30. And it's already a great atmosphere in parts of Knoxville. Gator meat is already for sale. The shrimp dock is making sure they're all stocked up for game day. They're selling chopped gator right now. Later on this week, they're bringing in whole gators. You do have to pre-order one, and guess what? They're running $25 a pound.
We got a whole gator coming just so that we have a nice presentation out there. And I think we've got enough meat to go around. I think they'll be smoking like Thursday and probably finishing up on Friday with that so that we've got everything for your Friday and Saturday pickups.
Shrimp Doc saying they usually go through nearly 1,000 pounds of gator meat when Tennessee goes to play on the road at Florida.
I just want to start by saying to Rick Russo and his family, we miss you, and thoughts and prayers are with you. You guys know he's been a mainstay around here for a long time, long before I got here too, so everybody's thinking about you.
Yeah, how about that? Coach Heupel giving a shout out to the king of East Tennessee sports and our friend Rick Russo. We want to give you an update today. He's back home. Of course, he had his last kidney removed because cancer returned. He had his other one removed about a decade ago. Reoccurrence of cancer forced them to have to remove the other one. He is on dialysis now. He will be looking for a kidney. Want to send Rick well wishes. Coach Barnes came and prayed for Rick last week, and now Coach Heupel, the top Vol, giving a shout out to him at his weekly news conference. So Rick, stay strong, brother. Can't wait to see you back here in a couple of weeks. Well, the basketball's moving to 4-0 after a win over Rice. Tennessee taking this one 91-66. But it's not all good news. Forward J.P. Estrella did have to leave the game with a left leg injury. Coach Barnes saying they'll learn more about his injury today. When we learn what Coach Barnes learns, we'll let you know. Well, folks in Fountain City getting another option to avoid the heavy congestion. The city breaking ground on a new half-mile greenway extension. It'll connect Adair Park to the Sharps Ridge area. The city says neighbors who live near that Broadway and 640 interchange will have more ways to get around. The new extension will run through the ridge line of the Lyndhurst Funeral Home Cemetery. The city spending more than 20 years working to make the new greenway a reality. And it's almost here. The most wonderful time of the year is right around the corner. And for folks in Knoxville, it's about to start looking a lot like Christmas in the scruffy city. The annual Christmas in the City celebration starts this week. It features all sorts of free events where you can see lights, get treats, and even meet Santa. There's also the return of Christmas classics, the Market Square Ice Rink, and opening this month, there will also be the WIVK Christmas Parade. We have the full schedule inside your WVLT News app. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Remember, you can stay up to date all the time inside the WVLT News app, on WVLT.tv on your desktop, and all of our social media pages and streaming sites.